In this video, I'm going to be going over a bunch of different creatures that got added to Ark because of the community. Some of them were suggestions, others were community voted, and some of them were just mods that got implemented into the game. There's lots of different ones. I'm going to be going over all of them in this video. The first creature on the list is the Dinopithecus. This one was added because of a creature vote, and it was actually the first ever creature vote. And I definitely do remember it, and it was quite controversial, but the Dinopithecus was kind of an unexpected one that ended up winning, even though it ended up being really cool. It was also suggested by Up From The Depths as well, who you probably know, makes the trailers for the Ark Editions Creatures mod and has his own YouTube channel, so it's cool that his creature idea ended up getting added to the game, and it ended up being on Lost Island, because of course it was the Lost Island creature vote. The second creature I have on the list is the Desmodus, or the giant bat. This is another one that ended up winning a creature vote. This one won the Fjorder creature vote, so it would be exclusive on this map. And this is probably one of my favorites from these creature votes, as it's one of the most useful in the game, and brought some pretty cool things to the game, like the sanguine elixirs. So this one ended up being a pretty cool one, and it was a really unexpected one to win, honestly. Like, when they announced the vote winner, I definitely wasn't expecting this one to win at all. It was kind of just out of nowhere, but it ended up being really cool. And number 3, I have the Cinema Crops. This one wasn't a winner of the creature vote, but it was in the Lost Island creature vote, and it got a ton of votes. I remember this was really controversial. I'm not going to go into all of the controversies, but if you know what happened, then you do know. But of course, it ended up getting added anyway. I assume this is because it just got so many votes that they just felt bad and added it anyway. I highly doubt if it wasn't in the creature vote and it didn't get all those votes, it wouldn't have got added, because that'd be a really big coincidence if they were going to add the Cinema Crops anyway before that to Lost Island, but they just decided to add it right after that vote and it lost. So I'm definitely sure that this one was added because of the community vote. And number 4 is the Ceratosaurus. This is one of the newer ones, came out pretty recently as of making this video, and it was added because of the Ark Editions mod. It was in that mod, and it was so good that they brought it into the base game. So obviously, without Gruga making that mod, this would have never became official, so that's why it's going to be on the list. And number 5 is the Dodo Rex. This was actually a fan-made creature, and it's quite crazy because it's become super iconic. But as you can see, this was the original fan-made dossier before it ever got added to the game. And they, of course, ended up adding it anyway, so I imagine the devs liked it so much that they just decided to put it in the game when Fear Evolved came around, and I'm glad they did, because this ended up being a really cool and unique creature. And number 6 is the Rhinogonantha. This one was in one of the creature votes, except for this one I believe was going to be the island creature vote for Ark Ascended, but they ended up adding it to Ark Survival Evolved anyway, making this the last ever creature to be added to Ark Survival Evolved. And it's been a really cool one, and it's really close to the original concept for it, as there was a bunch of abilities in there, one of them being that it could pick up things like Rexes and stuff, which of course they added, and this was definitely a community suggested one, and ended up winning that vote, and it ended up being a really cool creature overall. And number 7 is the Gigaraptor. This is another creature vote one. This one was originally basically going to be the Ragnarok one, so they did a vote for what creature was going to be added to Ragnarok and Ark Ascended, and the Gigaraptor ended up winning. But of course, they ended up changing their minds. Basically, with the center, it was going to come out in February. Obviously, it didn't happen. That didn't end up happening in February. But they said the Gigaraptor was going to come out with the center in February when they changed it. But then when they delayed the center, they basically just said that they're going to add the Gigaraptor to the island as like an apology for delaying it. So that's a lot of different things that have happened with the Gigaraptor, but it ended up just being on the island, and they said it's going to spawn on Ragnarok too. The next creature at number 8 is the Carcharodontosaurus. This one was not a creature vote winner, but it was in multiple creature votes, and it got second, I think, multiple times. It was like second in the Lost Island vote, and it might have been second in the Fjorder vote. I know it was really close in a bunch of those votes, so they just decided to add it anyway, because obviously so many people wanted it, it just didn't win those votes. It would just barely lost, so they added it to all maps, which I think is really cool that they added it to all maps, and I think the Carchar was the first time that they added a creature to all the maps since like the Otter came out with the full release of the game, which is quite an interesting fact. But it's definitely cool we got the Carchar, even though it didn't win the vote, they still gave it to us. And number 9 is Finmir. This one was added with Fjorder, which of course was a mod map, and this was a modded creature that was on there, and it was actually made by Gruga123, the same person who made the Ark Editions mod, which I think is pretty cool. So this is technically one of the first of his creatures to be added to Ark. But of course, this one was a creature that wasn't originally in the game and was on the mod map, so it does count for this list, and I think it's a pretty cool one. Even though they did change it to where you used to be able to find it in Jotunheim and tame it, but now you have to basically kill Finmir Sulfur in order to get it. And after that, we have the Zephactinus. This was another one very similar to the Ceratosaurus, as they were added on the same day. But of course, this was another Arc Editions creature that got added to the base game, and now it's officially here, which is pretty cool. And number 11 is the Fossilosuchus. This is a really cool one, and was added with the Scorched Earth creature vote. And obviously, it ended up winning that vote, so they added it to the game. And I think it fits Scorched Earth pretty well, so definitely glad this one got added. But after that, at number 12, we have the Crystal Wyverns. This was added with Crystal Isles when that map got added. And I'm definitely glad they decided to add the Crystal Wyverns when they added that map, as they were a huge part of it. And of course, it's pretty dope that they actually added the Crystal Wyverns in here. And number 13 is Steinborn, the first boss on the list. And this one, of course, is Fjordur. It was in Fjordur. It looked a little bit different. I think it had like purple crystals, and then the rocks were a bit different, so they changed it when it came to official, but it's obviously very similar and the same creature. And it's really dope that they actually added this boss into the game, as it's quite unique. I think it's pretty cool overall. And then very similarly, Haughty and Skull. These were a part of the Fjordur mod as well, except for they were actually reskinned direwolves, except for now they're reskinned Fenrirs. I like definitely the Fenrirs over the direwolves, because before they were just like colored direwolves. But yeah. And the next creatures that I'm going to be talking about are ones that aren't in the game yet, but they are adding to the game. So as when this video drops, all these creatures aren't out, but they are going to be in the game at some point, and of course they are basically confirmed that they are from the community. Number 15 is the Dinosuchus. This one's being ported from the Arc Editions mod to the base game, and I'm definitely glad this one's coming as a massive alligator, and it is just really sick, and it makes these swamps a lot more terrifying. So I'm excited to see this one come in, but of course this one is a mod made by Gruga, so it's going to be on the list. And very similarly, we have the Dinotherium from the Arc Editions mod, which is the same thing. There's going to be a lot of Arc Editions creatures on here, so I'm just going to go over them quick because they all basically have the same story on when they're being added. But the Dinotheriums are a really cool one, really unique, and I'm excited to see this one added. But after that, at number 17, we have the Shastasaurus. This was another creature community vote winner. This one was voted to be on the center, and then it ended up getting changed, and we didn't know what it was going to be, and then they decided to add it back to the center once they indefinitely delayed it, and then decided it was coming out June 3rd. So after all of that, it's actually going to be coming to the center, which is the original map it was voted for. And it's going to be a really cool one, as it's got basically a submarine saddle with torpedo missiles, and it's very similar to what the concept was, because the concept that was suggested also had the submarine saddle, which is really cool that they're adding all that. And number 18 is the Helicoprion. This one is also part of the Arc Editions mod. It's going to be another cool underwater creature that's going to be added, and I'm definitely glad to see this one coming as well. And in number 19 is the Wyling. This one's going to be on Aberration, and is the winner of the Aberration creature vote. And this one's going to be exclusive to that map. It can basically like glide around, and I imagine it's going to be pretty quick and decently strong. We'll have to see when Aberration comes out, but this is another one that was added because of a community vote. Obviously, they've been doing a ton of those recently, so a lot of these creatures are from the community votes. And number 20 is the Brachiosaurus, another Arc Editions one. I'm very glad to see this one added, as I've wanted the Brachie in the game for so long. So now that we're getting it with the Arc Editions mod becoming official, it's going to be pretty dope. But after that, we have the Archelon, which is another Arc Editions creature. This one's going to be getting a TLC as well. But of course, it's just another one of the Arc Editions creatures. And of course, there's a lot of them, because I believe there's 10 in total that are coming to the game. And number 22 is the Dreadnoughtus, the massive sauropod, and it's going to be on Extinction, as it won the Extinction creature vote. So another creature vote winner, this one being exclusive to Extinction. So this one's going to be pretty awesome. I'm definitely glad we're getting more sauropods in the game, and this one seems like a really dope one as well. And after that, we have the Acrocanthosaurus. This was another one I'm very excited to see, and another Arc Editions creature that's going to be added to the game. And then we have the Concavenator. When this one gets added to the game, it will have a TLC done by Gruga. But of course, it's another Arc Editions one that's added. And then, of course, right after that is the Cryolophosaurus. It's very similar to the Concave Editor. This one's also getting a TLC. Both of these are probably going to come out near like December, near the holidays at the end of the year, because they're going to be getting TLCs. But they are coming, and they are from the community because they are modded creatures. But that is all of the creatures that have been added because of the community. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and also subscribe. Also, I did get a new mic, and this is the first video I'm recording with it. So if you do notice a difference, let me know, because I think it sounds way better from what I tested. But a lot of the videos I post are going to be like between the mics, because I have the videos scheduled. So it's going to be like this new mic, and then some videos are going to have an old mic. It's just kind of how it works. But yeah, that's going to be it. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to leave a like and also subscribe. Thanks for watching, and bye.